Hey everyone, rather than Incoherent here. We're back with more Total War Remastered, Germania, and this is not what I wanted this army to be doing. I wanted these stacks to be full, and I wanted them to be conquering the Julia right about now, but things didn't play out the way I wanted them to. Speaking of, Gaul just moved a stack away from its cities to siege Elysia, and Britannia has decided to attack 2 of my cities. They're not quite there yet, but they will be soon. And I have a really hard time imagining either of these cities defends itself properly with its current armies. I will be making cavalry in my interior with the intent that it will, actually be able to reinforce in time to do something. But it turns out it's just false across the board. And this can't get anywhere in time to do anything right now. The city is just so far out of the way, it's very unfortunate. Now, if I keep chasing him, I'll never catch him. He's just a faster unit than I am. So I'm not going to get distracted doing that. I'm going to send this down to the rebel settlement. I'm going to focus on taking Italy. There's a very good chance I'm losing land to Britannia here, at least for a little while. Am I able to make a diplomat here? Yes, I'm going to do that and immediately try to get a ceasefire with Gaul next turn. But before then, I need to deal with this battle, I think. I can't afford to waste time sieging this out. This army needs to be moving north and dealing with Britannia. I need to unconquer any land that gets taken and then push them off of Europe as a whole so I never have to deal with them again. Which means I have to fight this siege battle. Let's see if there's anything else to be done in the turn so that I don't forget about it after this nightmare siege. We need to move this to go find the city of Segestica, which we have found. It's apparently very unhappy, despite being a rebel. Independence wasn't all it was cracked up to be. I'm going to try something just out of idle curiosity. I'm going to attack this and instantly withdraw. And I'm going to see if that allows me to retreat on the strategic map. But I am very genuinely curious if I'm even allowed to do this, if it's a strategy I'm able to employ.
Enemy have more men. Ha! These are more
and yeah, I can. I can just retreat. So let's see what retreating actually does in this circumstance.
The enemy have stolen victory. Like
I wouldn't say they've stolen victory, man. I think that was a pretty fair victory. I didn't even attempt to fight them. And the answer is yes, I can do that, and I will retreat, just not very far. Things feel so much worse this time this video than they did this time last video, huh? Well, what can you do? Okay, let's figure out how we play a siege like this without ranged weapons. That's true, I have 2 skirmisher warbands, it's just not much in terms of ranged weaponry. Alright, let's get in here and figure it out as we go. Let's learn by doing.
to the afterlife by nightfall.
That's not how I wanted the speech to start, man. I need words of encouragement right now. I'm stressed about this. Okay, so since there's so many people inside the city, I'm going to be using all my rams, busting 5 holes in the walls at once, and we're going to see where to go from there. Okay, I've got all of my units moving up. The only skirmishers I have are right here, which is also coincidentally the place in the city that has no warbands. In terms of what they've anchored to the middle, it looks like there's only 1 warband, and everything else is going to be moving around quite a lot. Now, warbands do lose quite badly to phalanxes in straight fights, so this really looks like it's more of a fight where it's about making sure I sneak warbands in and get them in phalanx formation before anything gets to them, and if I can consistently do that, then I'm guaranteed to win, more or less. And if I can get to the middle, I can lure them out with javelins over this building. It's set up the way that I like it set up. So, let's get to the walls and see how this goes. Initial good news, at least, is that it looks like none of my rams are actually within range of towers.
Now is the time for great deeds.
They're sending some warbands over to this gate, and leaving this one completely undefended. So since this gate's so undefended, I'm going to start moving these phalanxes up immediately, because they're the ones that are going to be able to get in the easiest. These phalanxes look like they're going to have the second easiest time, but they only have 1 entry point, unfortunately. I'm going to pause it real quick to make sure that the other side is also moving up into position. But there's so much over here that I would never try to get in right now. Unlike here, where the gate is open and there is nothing stopping me from getting in. So I'm going to send my first unit in. I'm just going to line it up here. I think this is the last gate coming down that I was looking at. No, 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 no. I thought this gate was down and I was just wrong. This wall is not down. Okay. Now it looks like they're moving around enough that I can get more units in and out of locations. So let's pulse it. First, these spearmen need to be coming in. And I just want them to line up here. I want these spearmen to come in as well and line up facing the other direction. There's no rush to do it super efficiently in terms of getting one in faster than the other, because this is the only direction units are coming from. Now here, it looks like I'm in the clear to send in 2 phalanxes. Looks like my skirmishers have managed to drive off what little they had to defend. And to make sure that keeps happening, I'm going to move my skirmishers to either side to drive them off as fast as possible. Now here, there's nothing I can do just yet, but one thing I can do is actually just arrange my units so that I can do it as fast as possible once the opportunity presents itself. So, let's continue and see how this is going. This needs to drop its phalanx formation and immediately. Hopefully they manage to get it up before they just completely abandon the idea of a phalanx and oh no, they're spinning. Ah, damn it. That's not what you want to say. Look, just fight them. I don't know what you're doing here, just fight them. Stop trying to do whatever that shit was. They're just seemingly walking in with no effort to raise their phalanxes. Please stop. If I try to pull back, that's the formation you think you're in. That explains so much about your pathfinding. Oh, this is deeply frustrating now that I, like, pressed the arrow key and realized what the unit was trying to do. I'm actually just going to move this unit behind them, expecting them to break soon, since they've never actually done anything useful. And in fact, I'm going to arrange it so that I can just press the route button on this unit and get them the fuck out of here. And have the other unit form a phalanx defensively. Oh, damn it. I was not paying nearly enough attention to this. I have just been handling this so sloppily. Okay, look. I pressed route. Please get the fuck out. It's fine. I will be able to retrain spearmen here, no problem. I just need to actually win the fight to do that. Gaul has no interest in giving up those holes in the gate, but that's fine. Just to leave. Just stop being inside the walls. Just go. Like, this is not even a pathfinding issue. It's just a unit's not listening to commands issue. The reason I was worrying about tight formation at all is because I want to move more units in. I don't want to let this flank get overrun at all, which means I need to move this, and that means I need something covering this area. Here, we have easily won that fight. Nothing has changed over here. I think this is the point where I put it on triple speed and wait for a while. Okay. It doesn't seem like this has really affected what the AI wants to do too badly. Oh, I never even put those in phalanx. That's terrible. Oh, what? They stopped routing. That's very strange. I have no idea why I thought these units were routing. I guess I'm just stupid. There's just so much my eyes are looking at that it's just hard for me to keep track of this fight. Yeah, we're in something resembling a phalanx here, so we should crush them easily. Have my barbarian cavalry come down here and capture this gate, which will hopefully trigger some AI movement. They can run in and out as many times as they want right there. Okay, I'm starting to make progress here. How on earth is that possibly even? I mean, it's not. I'm just not going to listen to them. They're clearly wrong. Now I can take this gate. I don't actually need this gate, so I'm going to start running around through the middle of the town, like an asshole. Because what I'm looking at is, like, if these units just want to keep fighting here, I can probably absolutely destroy them with a cavalry flank. Which is exactly what I'm going to set up to do. These units are slowing me down so much in terms of how quickly I can progress this. Since this fight seems like the nastier of the two, I'm going to try to deal with the other one instead. I think it'll be much easier to break this one unit than these two. But I am very worried about what their cavalry does, since this unit is a little bit behind enemy lines right now. More than a little bit, really. Okay. This should be enough to break that unit, I think. You know, if we actually get a charge off. I've been thinking I should be moving like this for a while now. Just to get more units inside the town. And yeah, that routed them immediately. So with this unit routed, I can probably run down the vast majority of it and start tipping the battle in our favor. Because every time we kill an enemy unit, things are going to get so much easier for us. Yeah, they're down to what? 2 guys? 1 guy? 3. And as soon as we're done with this, we're going to do the exact same thing over here and wipe out another 2 units of Gallic warbands. Excellent. These are exhausted, so I'm going to do it even though my units are relatively tired. This is, like, going fine for me, but it will go much better if they get routed and I run them all down. Yeah, exactly. They rout instantly when they realize what's happening, and I'm going to kill pretty much every single one of them. And for some reason I'm trying to route to the city hall instead of, you know, right here, killing them. And what was 200, 300 men is down to maybe a 2 dozen at that, instantly. I can break these phalanxes and finally start moving up. What I'm actually going to do is just get this unit outside the city walls. It's exhausted right now. Not outside the city walls, but somewhere out of the way. Oh wait, I hear a charge sound. Okay, what I'm going to do here is start this cavalry coming in to eventually flank this, since they finally moved out the way. Move these skirmishers into the city. Going to move my general into the city. And we are slowly but surely just ripping apart the defenders one by one. I don't like this because this unit isn't a phalanx, but I have time to move this, I think. Alright, everything's going perfectly fine right now. Oh god, we're spetting. It's never what you want to say. Okay, this needs to charge these warband. Gotta make sure this got positioned correctly. This needs to drop phalanx. And over here, everything's going according to plan with that phalanx. I might have to pull this one back out in a second if they don't break. Yeah, the charge is ended. We're gonna have to get a second charge. Which is fine. As long as I do it correctly and don't lose huge amounts of units. Alright, and this cavalry is finally getting in position to come charge this later on. I'm gonna drop this phalanx. It looks like their cavalry might actually be coming to fight where my general is, which is not what I want at all. I think he's probably just repositioning, though. I'm going to charge here as well. And I think this should break them now. Yeah. Completely broken immediately. So I only have to pay attention to one front. Their cavalry is still moving around, which makes me antsy, but I think it'll be fine. And also instantly routed as well. So we're finally making some serious progress. The balance of power is 90% of mine left, 30% of theirs. So yeah, that's fantastic. To move this cavalry to be safe, I'm going to reposition this phalanx so it's actually correct. Move this phalanx to here to defend my barbarian mercenaries. I'm going to move this cavalry here and try to pathfind it through this hole in the wall to flank this. I think that this is a path you can go through. Hey, it is! The shift right-click to drag your unit's pathfinding thing is incredibly helpful. Like, there are changes made to unit control that are really nice in this, it's just, I would have appreciated more. Like, locking my unit's information is still almost always useless and wrong. Alright, let's see if this is enough to rout. Yep, they were already wavering and they couldn't handle the stress. Please, no, you don't need to run to the city square, you just need to be right where you are. Okay, we have killed so many men so efficiently at this point. It looks like they're just moving their barbarian warlords back to the center, which is fine by me. I am having a more than a hard time running down this last warband, though. And I really do want to run down the whole thing. God, it's just like I look at where the arrow's telling me they're going, and it's so deeply confusing. Just doing my best to position them on top of where the warband currently is, and then tell them to attack. There are 2 of them left. That's what I like to hear. And it looks like they have finally given up entirely on actually doing anything but defending the square. So for the time being, I think the correct thing to do is just wait for everyone to get to full fatigue. So I'm going to do just that. Oh, this is not what I wanted to do at all. I've accidentally baited out the enemy generals. And by accidentally, I mean there's just terrible, terrible pathfinding. At least they're going to try to chase them through a double phalanx, so this should be fine for me. Defeat is almost a certainty, you say. In that case, I'll have to send someone to help. Alright, victory seems certain. That's much better. And these are just spearmen. I'm fine with letting this happen. It'll be a serious problem if they rout, but other than that, it's not a big deal. Fantastic. So now anytime they leave the square, they're probably going to rout very immediately. I am shocked at just how strong this unit is. I'm going to send in these mercs too. Yeah, like, that was so bad. What do I have left? I have a spearman and 2 mercenary peasants. They're not mercenary peasants, but that's what they feel like. If they're instantly coming back for more, I need to move this cavalry out to do something about it. And they are, so I have to immediately start the fight again. I'm going to send this barbarian cavalry to try to clean up. And this should not actually be a huge problem, it's just a hassle because they're going to keep doing this over and over. I really wish I hadn't accidentally walked a unit into the middle and baited them out, because this is just very tedious to deal with them. Okay, all of my spearmen are finally roughly on the same side of the map, so I'm going to start setting up what I've been trying to do the whole time. Which is just one single ridiculous phalanx. That's all I want. Alright, so this is the phalanx to end all phalanxes. So the plan is pretty straightforward. I'm sure you've picked up on what I'm doing by now. I'm going to put these here. I'm going to throw javelins at them to pull them out. They're going to charge those phalanx. The screeching women are going to yell. I figure I should put the screeching women over here rather than wherever they are now. So, they've only got these 2 units left. The plan is that these are going to start throwing their javelins. It's going to draw them out of the square into the phalanx. The women are going to screech, they're going to break, and I'm going to win the battle. If they go the other way, then, you know, the barbarian peasants aren't worth much anyway. It'll be fine. So, let's see how it goes. Yep, that is exactly how I thought this would look. And easy.
Now hunt them down.
So, what did that actually look like? Do I want to continue this for experience? It's probably a thing I could do. Oh no. I can't remember how it works with regards to ending a battle that you're in if you've already gotten the victory screen, if it's a city siege where you're theoretically able to lose it. So, I'm going to play this out a little bit longer. Alright, let's see how it goes. Pathfinding, even when you use the arrow keys, can leave something to be desired. Why are they still going forward? Alright, I'll probably assume that has something to do with the way that I had all my units stacked on top of each other. Once they're exhausted, I'll send my general back in. I don't think anyone actually got experience out of this. So that was just like me panicking for no reason. I'll take 600 men for 2,000. That's pretty easy for me. We're going to see how few troops we can leave behind to get repaired, and then start moving everything else north to deal with Britain. And we have to occupy this. We need this for unit production, and we need the population to repair. I want to enslave it for Batavium, but I don't see how I can get away with doing that right now. Okay, so it looks like I only need to leave behind 3 spearmen, but I can't actually retrain my cavalry here. Which is strange. Oh, it's a very low quality city, that's why. Well, hey, retraining spearmen's all I really need. So, let's get everyone except for these 3 units of spearmen and move out. And we are immediately going to head back north. But before I do, I'm going to have this man just take 1 step south, check for mercs, and more importantly, I can't build it that close to the city. Well, let's have the rest of the army head north. And then when we see how far it can go, we'll see if I have the ability to take another step south. And the answer is no. If I take a step south, I'll be 1 tile short of reaching them. Because right now I'm 1 tile away, and it's 1 step south and then 1 step back north to catch back up. So I can't actually build watchtowers to the south. Which is fine. This is enough to make sure I get Alesia back. And I think my rallying armies will actually be okay for the Britannian war coming on. This really feels like I am scrambling right now. Which I knew was going to happen when Britannia declared war on me. I was just really hoping they would do it when I was at Alesia and not a turn or two afterwards. I've just sort of been aimlessly looking around my cities for a while, trying to find something useful I can do, and there isn't. So I'm going to end turn, and we're going to see what happens in the interim. Maybe Gaul wants to talk to me? No, never. The Julii, I don't think, have any meaningful moves they can do that I actually care about. Like, they're going to move stuff, but it's not going to do anything. Wait, did he not start the siege? Is Britannia not ready to declare war yet? Okay, yes, he's declaring war. He just wanted to hide for a bit for a while before then. Okay. They didn't start the other siege, though, which is equally weird. So, about improving the AI, it looks like only a little bit. So, I'm now at war with Britannia, and the Greek cities are at a ceasefire with the House of Julii. Someone got married. I got besieged. Wait, what got besieged by the Gauls? Oh, Alesia. I have someone I can adopt, which I will do instantly without even thinking about it, and someone came of age. So I have 2 generals now in my capital, I think. No, just the one. The other one is in Batavium, apparently. Which is still fine, though I'd have rather him in the center of my empire. and end of turn reports. So that turn could have went a lot worse. I'm fine with everything that has happened, and I recruited a diplomat here. I need... Oh, that's the Brudii, not the Gauls. Or the Gauls, rather. Is this the Gauls, now? Yeah, it is. I want to go talk to the Gauls. Look, dude. If you will pay me like $500 for 4 turns, I will give you a ceasefire.
Regretfully, we must decline.
So they have no interest in a ceasefire at all, I think.
Regretfully, we must decline.
It's interesting they think they have a chance of winning now when they didn't before. So, trying to sell things to the various Roman factions would be nice. It's entirely possible I can get a ceasefire with the Julii since they started the war and it fell apart immediately. Now, the big question, can I actually even retrain this whole army? No, I run out of population. So I need to enslave something. And I don't have anything I'm actually sieging this turn. Okay, so I have 2 sieges happening next turn. And since I can't retrain everything this turn, I'm actually just going to sit for a turn and let the population grow as effectively as I can. And I'm going to make the shrine that gives anything they retrain a bonus to experience. So the big thing right now is this city is under siege, but... Right, let's just pretend I wanted to sally out, right? It is 2 warbands and 2 woad warriors. If they actually come into the city, I think they die. And it can hold out for, is this how many turns? Yeah, 4 more turns. I don't need to do anything about that. That's actually fine. So I'm going to start moving this together as an army. And it's going to come and free Batavadorum here from the current hell that it is in. We'll also need to make more units here. I'm going to try to build just anything in this town out of curiosity. I know back in Rome Total Realism, if I tried to build something under siege, it wouldn't go through. I'm just curious if that's still how it works. Okay, so first, let's get this Gallic army off. Oh, they think they can take me? That's genuinely baffling. Yeah. Alright, we're just gonna wipe out this whole army, it looks like, then. And that'll be the end of the video after this brutal slaughter.
Terrible it must be to face us, the sons of the wolf and the bear. Even now, fear...
I liked what he was saying so much, and then he just went off the rails and started talking about the enemy shitting themselves again. I don't get it. I don't know why the speeches for this faction are so terrible. Okay. Now, you aren't going to believe this, but I'm going to line up my phalanxes with my morale units and my skirmishers behind them. My various auxilia on the flanks. And then I'm going to put all of my cavalry on the wing. I know, it's completely crazy. You've never heard such an outrageous strategy before in your life. Okay, and I'm just going to wait for a little bit for my reinforcements to arrive. And as soon as my army got together, the enemy realized, like, wait a second, we shouldn't be doing this. And they're close enough to the edge that I can't do anything about them leaving. There's nothing I can stop. So I don't quite know why the game keeps doing this, where the AI tries to fight me, and then as soon as my armies join up, they're like, oh yeah, reinforcements. I feel like the auto-resolve, or not the auto-resolve, but the AI to determine whether or not they should flee isn't detecting whether or not I have reinforcements. And then, like, once the reinforcements show up, the AI tries to panic and leave. I'm going to push the Britannian leader away as well. And he did not retreat far enough. So we're going to wipe out the British faction leader and the heir. No, he just has 81 in his massive unit. Do all generals have 5 hit points? No. No, they don't. Just British generals have 5 hit points. Oh, man. I'm going to do this next time in case this is a tragedy. I don't want to end the video on a bad note. This is a high note. Things are going really well. I'm going to end it here. This has been rather incoherent. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps it grow. And I'll see you around.